about this topic because alignment to me is probably one of the most important things that we can tap into every single day and be intentional about. Because alignment is actually what will send signals out to the universe of what you're asking for. So aligning yourself with what you do want to create in your life is where the magic can happen. And then noticing where your thoughts, your emotions are not aligned with what you want to create and limiting those things is where you can actually stop calling in the things that you no longer desire to have in your life. So we are going to be coloring today and doing some mindful active meditation while we're doing our coloring experience. And in order to get started, I have a free download for you. So I'm going to just pull up a slide here really quickly to show you where you can grab your coloring page that we're going to be working on today. So go to myartalchemy.com/gift and you can download for free this self-reflection coloring book and journal. Inside, there's 25 different themed coloring pages and corresponding journal pages for each of those coloring topics. Today, we're doing the third topic. And so you're going to go into the download and print out the 2 pages that are alignment. So find the alignment pages. I will show you here what it looks like. This is the alignment page, and there is a corresponding journal page. So you want to print those 2 things out. Now, if you don't have access to that right now, and you maybe have a different coloring page that you want to use, that is totally fine. Also, if you don't have a coloring page and you have a piece of paper, and you can just sit there and doodle or color on the piece of paper, feel free to do that. The main thing, we're using art as the catalyst for transformation and empowerment in this work. So technically, it doesn't necessarily matter if you have this page or not, but this is something that is free for you to download, and you can print these off as many times as you want and color them over and over and over again. So it's actually a really cool free gift that is there for you. As I am waiting for you guys to join and grab your materials. Oh, so the other thing that you'll need is something to color with, whether it's markers or crayons or colored pencils, watercolor paints, like whatever you want to use is fine with me. So just make sure that you have that as well prepared in your space. And then I would grab a pen so that you can jot down notes of things that are coming up for you as we're going through this experience. When you come in, feel free to introduce yourself in the comments and tell me where you're joining me from today. I would love to know where people are coming. Are they coming from around the world? Are they here? I'm in LA, so, are you close by to me? But share where you're joining from. And feel free at any point to add comments or questions along the way in the comments section. I will mostly be coloring, and then occasionally I will look up and make sure that if I see comments, I will respond to them and questions in there. So just to let you know who I am and what we do here at Art as Alchemy, we use artistic expression as an access point for transformation and empowerment. And so our artistic methods are seriously jam-packed with good transformational tools. We use neuroscience and psychology, coaching, we tap into flow state. And so there's actually a lot of magic that is happening when we're doing our artistic experiences. We'll do them live on YouTube here for free. There's also other content I will be uploading. There's a free community for you to join where you can actually share your own art that you create today and interact with other people. And I will also be hosting online courses and one-on-one coaching, which you can purchase through the website, myartalchemy.com. Okay, you guys, so I am very excited about this topic, alignment. And I want to ask you before we get started, because on the journal page, there are some prompts, okay? If you're doing this on your own, feel free to use these prompts while you're coloring and jot down notes as things are coming up. The purpose of this exercise is to allow you the time to get introspective, find out what might be inside, what might be going on in your head, what are some thoughts that are coming up, belief systems that you might have, and where do you want to go? And so that's the active part of it, is what do you want to create in your life? And within this theme, which is alignment, there's a lot to talk about here. So on this live stream, I'll be going into more prompts than are on that piece of paper, which is the good thing about coming onto these lives, so that you can dive a little bit deeper into these topics. I'll be doing these each week, Wednesdays at noon Pacific time. And we'll be going through each of the pages that are in that book so that you can have a deeper experience, a deeper connection into the intention of what these coloring pages are for. And I would love for you to join me each week. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel so that you get notified when these videos are coming out and you can join us live, because that's really where you'll get to ask your questions, interact, and have a lot of fun with it. Okay, so before we get coloring, I would like for you to ground into your body and into your space. Maybe take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and let's just connect inward. Okay, so close your eyes. And if you want to stay here and take a few more deep breaths to connect into this experience, please do so. Please try to let go of whatever has come before this and ground into your body. Bring your attention inward. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And I want you to tap into alignment. What does alignment mean to you? And you can take your journal page and you can flip it over and you can jot down these notes. So, what does alignment mean to you? I think about alignment as aligning my energetic system, my thoughts and my emotions with what I desire to create. And that's not always happening on autopilot throughout the day. Most of the time, I would say, I'm out of alignment because I'm wrapped up in my thoughts. I'm wrapped up in the automatic thinking, automatic emotions that occur when I am just navigating life and things are happening around me. And so when I think about that, it's like I'm aligning to the external circumstances. The external circumstances are occurring, and I'm then aligning my energy with those things. But if I want to be intentional about aligning my energy with what I want to create, and how I want to feel as I'm navigating the external world, then that's something I want to do before I get there. So jot down some notes, and you can expand on this. You can like journal about this later on if you want, but jot down, what is it that alignment means to you, and what are some things that come up when you think about alignment? And then I want you to think about, in your life, where do you feel like you are in alignment? And what are the circumstances that allow you to be in alignment? Excuse my dog and her floppy ears. What are the things that allow you to be in alignment? Is it doing a meditation early in the morning, like right when you wake up? If I can wake up, do a meditation in the morning, and ground into my energy, will that allow me to be in alignment for the rest of the day? Now, I have a kid, so like my kid comes in and wakes me up and it's go from that moment. So I typically don't have that space right now for that. Actually, that's not necessarily true. I'm like choosing that because, I mean, I could wake up earlier than him, right? But for me to go out back and put my bare feet in the grass and do a meditation where I line my energy that way, that's something that really helps. So jot down where it is, what things allow you to get into alignment. Stop, BB. You know, the dog. Okay. Then I want you to write down, what are the things that take you out of alignment? And is it like a focus thing? You know, like I said, I'm out of alignment when I allow the external circumstances to influence me. I'm out of alignment when I'm running fast. And I'm not able to ground in. I'm not able to be intentional about it. So what are the circumstances? What are the things that take you out of alignment? And then if there's anything else you want to jot down about this before we get started coloring, go ahead. But I'm going to take us into the coloring experience, and then I want to allow you the reflection time while we're coloring. So I'm going to flip my camera. And here is our page for the day. So let's get started. Choose the colors, like use the choosing of the colors as an alignment experiment as well. Like, what things feel aligned for this? And maybe it's what things feel aligned in this moment to your energy. Today, I was gravitating more towards like these muted tones. And I thought that was kind of cool. And then also, I'm going to start in the center because I'm going to be really intentional about this. To me, alignment actually does start within, from the center, when I ground into my center and I determine where I want my energy to go. Like, how do I want it to feel? Then I'm in control of it. Versus doing an external response, right? External response to whatever is showing up in my energy field. I tend to not be in alignment with what I want to create. Or at least, like, it's harder, I would say. Feel free to share your experience as well and what helps you in the comments. Also, if you want to put on some background music to get into your flow here, feel free to do that. You can also just maybe listen in and do the coloring later on by yourself. It's up to you. So I want to share with you a couple of sources for diving deeper into this topic of alignment that I really, really love listening to and following along. They really inspire me, especially on the topic of aligning your energy with what you want to create. So the first one is Dr. Joe Dispenza. He is very focused on neuroplasticity, and I just want to make sure. Okay. He is very much focused on neuroplasticity, and his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, is actually one of my favorite books of all time, because he talks about how we essentially have a habit of being who we are, and at any moment we can change that. And if you want to change your life, then you change your thoughts, which change your emotions, and all of those things are linked in the brain. There's the science behind it is that the wiring and the firing of the neural pathways that are connected with specific thought patterns and emotions that link together actually create energetics in your system, and that is what creates your world. It creates what shows up around you. It creates how you be in the world. And so at any point you can change it. It just takes practice. And so I really, really enjoy his teachings. They're very much based in science. And then the other teacher is, actually it's a channeler, Esther Hicks. She channels Abraham Hicks, and they talk about law of attraction, and that your energy is always creating. So if you want to create something specific for your future, you need to align your energetics with that new future as if it's already occurring. So it's almost like an act as if, but within. That's why I love this topic so much on alignment, because when you are aligning your internal energy with a new future that you would like to create as though it already exists, then it can't not happen. So actually our most important thing to do is to be in alignment with what we want to create. And being intentional about it, being intentional about where you're putting your thoughts, where you're putting your emotions, how the energy in your system is actually vibrating. Like what is it telling the universe? If it's telling the universe, I don't like this, I don't want this in my life, the universe is actually going to say yes to that. It's going to say, okay, I'll give you more of, you don't want this in your life, because it thinks that that's what you want. So what I like to do is just, like, that's a good starting place, right? It's kind of our default starting place, is to say what we don't want. I don't like this. Whatever is happening, in that moment, it's like, ugh, this doesn't feel good in my system, which is an awesome thing that your system tells you, hey, I don't like this. That's actually alignment. It's misalignment, right? It's like your source energy. So like the higher version of yourself that knows the best possible future or situation, right? So that part of yourself is already vibrating with the solution. So when you feel off about something, it's because it's not aligned with where you want to go. And so it's actually kind of a gift, because then you can say, okay, this doesn't feel good, so what is it that I do want to create? And then once you know what you do want to create, then you can get into alignment with it by putting your attention on that, like creating that new future in your mind. And then how does that feel in your system? What are the emotions you would have when you're in that situation? What does it feel like in your system? What are the thoughts you're having? What are the emotions that you're having? And from there, you can sorry, I was just thinking about which color I wanted to use. From there, you can sit in that energy, and I would say just like relish in that energy for as long as you can, and then you start taking actions from that. So you would say something like, okay, if I'm already in this future, what would that version of me do right now? What would that version of me think right now? Is there some sort of action step and way of being I can exude right now if I'm that version of myself? And that will actually amplify the manifesting power of it. So alignment and misalignment is actually like the gateway to creating the life that you want. That's why, to me, this topic is one of the most important topics to do, and the most exciting, because it is I feel like it's the place where you have control. There's a lot of things that are out of our control, right? In life. Can't control what other people do, which is super annoying, especially when you have a kid. That's not true, actually. I love his natural personality, and I love honoring that in my kid. And also, sometimes we just have to get to school, so hurry up. But we can't control what other people do. You can control what you do. You can control how you show up to conversations. Like, I know for me, if I'm going to go into a challenging conversation, I know for sure it's in my best interest and the other person's best interest if I can get into alignment with, let's say, my most loving, accepting, compassionate self. That version of me. And if I can do that before I go into the conversation, then I know that no matter what the other person says or does in that conversation, like, I'm good, I'm grounded, I can handle it. But if I enter a conversation that is challenging and I'm dysregulated, right, then guaranteed I'm going to be all over the place. I'm not going to be able to think straight. Like, I'm going to be probably more defensive. I'm not going to be able to show up the way that I want to show up in that conversation. Okay, how are you guys feeling? Check in your body with how you're feeling. I think I want to... What do I want to add? I want to add like a pop color. I mean, this does have color. Let's go pink. So on the topic of alignment and being either in control or out of control, I want you to set an intention. You can do this at the end if you want to kind of ponder it for a while. But I want you to set an intention of empowering yourself to be the creator of your life. And being the creator of your life means that you're actively and intentionally knowing what you want to create, and then putting yourself into alignment energetically with that version, with that outcome. So jot down how you're able to do that best. What things support you in doing that? What things don't support you in doing that? And my mind is like a little bit structured. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, stop thinking that way. But, which is funny because I'm also an artist, so I have this like pretty cool dichotomy of like left and right brain. But to me, it's almost like in certain circumstances, there are certain things that help and don't help. And so I can set myself up for success by knowing which things work when, and then doing those things. For these live streams, it really helps me to do certain things ahead of time before getting started, so that I feel grounded and aligned with that higher version of myself who's, already doing it in a successful way, right? Showing up, being grounded, being focused, being able to allow whatever to come in that needs to come in. My dog today. I should put her in the other room. So there are certain things for me that help me to get into that space. And then I also know what doesn't work. And then I'm learning along the way. So like right now, I'm realizing my dog is making too much noise for my liking. I thought about putting her in a different room, and then I didn't, right? Intuitive it. So, next time I'll know to set myself up for success by doing that. I also take time ahead of time to get grounded in my body and calm my nervous system. And that puts me in alignment. Okay, keep coloring. I'm just gonna run and put my dog in the other room. So, let me mute myself for a second. Dog has been secured. I don't think she's happy about it. Okay, speaking of alignment and art, it's kind of the discovery and creation of what I'm doing. That art is something that allows me to get into alignment. So what I noticed was that there were times where I was just feeling off, or there were difficult things going on in my life. A lot of this started actually when I was building my coaching business back in 2014, and so like 10 years ago. And I would take a break actually from building the business to go get creative. And I realized that me doing that was me actually feeling out of alignment, and that I was able to get into the flow state, which allows you to quiet the mind. There's science behind it. You can come to one of my art flow shops and learn more about it. I'm not going to get into it here today, but there's so many awesome benefits to the flow state. And one of the things that I bring through Art is Alchemy is when we use art or any sort of creative expression where you can tap into flow state, it's a space for you to actually kind of stop the momentum on any vibration that might not be helpful for you. So for me, like if I'm spinning out on some sort of drama in my life or whatever, something's happening, and I maybe like can't get past it, can't quiet my mind around it, I'll go get creative. I'll go do something like this. And what happens is like you get to focus your energy on something that is an active meditation. It gives your brain something to do. And if you are intentional, like we're doing here, like we do with these coloring pages, if you're intentional about where you're putting your energy, your attention during this experience, then you can actually shift the energy in your system to work in your favor. If you have a way of doing it, feel free to add it in the comments. What are some ways for you to maybe stop the negative momentum of thoughts, emotions that are not serving you? Working out just popped into my head. Actually, for me, journaling helps on both ends because sometimes, you know how like you can have a conversation in your head with the other person, like something happened, right? And then you leave the conversation, but you're still having that conversation with the other person in your mind. So sometimes I'll journal just to get that stuff out of my head. And a lot of times just doing that helps to relieve it, to release it. Like, sometimes we just want to be heard, but if you write it, you almost feel like you're heard in that circumstance. So then that, to me, clears the space for the new stuff to come in. Ooh, this is good. I like this one. I really like these pages because I can color them multiple times if I want. And you can even cut it out and frame it. You can write something on it as an intention and then hang it up somewhere nearby so that, you know, each day that you see it, it reminds you to do the thing. You could be like, go meditate, go work out, get out of your head, watch your thoughts. You could, you know what would be really cool is to do a vision board. I have one in my office space, like right behind my computer, so that the images are always right there. You know, it's kind of like subconsciously imprinting, even if I'm not actively, you know, focused on it. However, what I was just thinking about is you could take this drawing and whatever you want to write and put it next to that vision board And then each day, you know, have the intention to align yourself, your energy, your internal energy, with that vision. And before long, like, it has to occur. The thing has to occur because you're basically creating it in your system. And the universe is an attraction universe, so it gives you that. It gives you what you have in your system. So just be careful. Like, don't look at the thing and go, I don't have this yet, I don't have this yet, because that's going to keep it at bay. So be mindful that you are, when you're intentionally crafting your energy and aligning your energy, that you're doing it from a space of it already happening, that it already exists. Those are good nuggets of info. Helpful? Not helpful? What are you guys feeling? We got one more thing to color, and then the name or the word. Almost there. One last thing. What color do I want? Should we do a new color? Let's do... this one. So let's see. It's pretty dark. Let's just go with it. Don't forget to journal whatever has come up for you in this process. Is there an intention you want to leave with? Maybe an affirmation. Are there things that came up that you want to make sure to remember? Great, this one's running out of ink. Did something occur for you that you definitely want to remember or share? And don't forget, there's a free community, a free membership community on my website, and you can join and then share your drawing, share your coloring page, share your experience, get to know people in the community. We're just getting started, so you're on the forefront of this. Well, I don't know when you're watching this, but if you're watching live, then you're definitely on the forefront. If you're watching this video later on, the community might already be thriving, jam-packed with other art alchemists. There you go. That's part of my alignment, my aligning to my future. I'm aligning my energy with all the people who love this, who want to do this kind of work. Okay. Alignment. What do we want to use for the color of that? else I want to mention is that using real life examples as like a tool, I would say, to getting your energy aligned is really helpful. However, make sure that they are easy to identify with, easy for you to align your energy with. If there's someone who's really far away from where you want to be and you can't quite align your energy with what they're up to, then I would say don't do that. Don't try, because it's going to only make you feel more distant from them. And so, you know, if there's someone that you can easily identify with and align your energy, like use them as a resource for, you know, that creation process, that imagination process, as though you're already living it. If there's a couple, like, you know, couple goals that you follow and you can kind of mimic that energy, imagine yourself in that energy, then use that. Voila! I feel complete with this. And here is my final drawing, my final coloring page. Thank you for the kudos. I appreciate it. All right, I'm going to switch the camera back and we are going to close this out. Hello, hello. Okay, so here's my final page. So I want to see what you created. Make sure to join the free community. Let me pull up a slide so you can see what is available to you. So here's our website, myartalchemy.com. And our social media, go follow us wherever you are, art.as.alchemy. And to, actually, this is not the right slide. Hold on, let's see here. Well, it's on there. The free community is on there on my website. I thought it was on this next slide. Anyways, if you liked today's live stream and this video, if you're not watching it live, you're watching it later on, you enjoyed it, please like our video and share it with other people who you think would enjoy this. And make sure to subscribe so that you know when our live streams are happening. And I definitely want to see your art. So follow along on the membership page, the free membership page. Share your stuff, share your experience. Let me know what came from this. If you had any insights and affirmations, because as you share, you're going to help other people who are on the same journey and they may resonate with something that is coming through your expression. So make sure to share from your perspective what came up for you around alignment. And we'll start the conversation with that. And I am going to close out and I will see you guys next week here, same spot, noon, Wednesdays, Pacific time. And next week we will be coloring. I think the next one is balance, if I am correct. Yes, balance. So get excited for that one. All right, you guys, thanks for showing up, and I will see